welcome back to my channel. I'm Sabira, aka Sabi. Hi people, welcome back. So on the screen you will see a reference image. So I literally saw this image on Instagram, and the stalker I am, I looked around to see if I could see some more shots of the house, and all I could see was like the back garden, the shot that I put on the screen, and I think a view from inside the dining room area to like under where the glass roof is. So that's all I was working with. So I was pretty impressed with myself that I actually made a whole floor plan and a whole build based on one image. I mean, I know I've done it before, but I always surprise myself when I do this, because I literally feel like I can't build unless I have a floor plan or unless I have an actual like physical view of all the angles. I just need everything to be able to recreate something. Otherwise I feel like doing it by myself is too hard and it doesn't come out right. So I'm pretty proud of myself. This came out okay. So I kind of started out with floor plans. I kind of started out with sizing, like looking at the photo and looking at where the window placements are, where this is placed, and I kind of based it around, is this one tile, is this two tiles, and that's how I kind of build to make it look similar to the image. I feel like this is a very slim build. It could have been probably one tile wider, now I'm thinking about it, but at the same time it wasn't, so I'm just gonna deal with that. Yeah, it definitely could have been one tile longer, I think, like wider. It looks a bit slim, and I don't like the roofing too much, but it's better than nothing. And I believe I did move lots, but now I'm looking at this, I'm like, did I? I don't even know what I did. I'm pretty sure I felt like I should move lots, just because this wasn't big enough to fit two homes on, but maybe I did keep it. I don't even know anymore. I don't remember what I did, but yeah, literally just wanted to make this build based on the view I could see from the garden. I just like the idea of it looking like the people having, well, I say people, the Sims I have in mind living in this kind of home would be like a young couple who've bought their first place. They are probably planning on getting married. It's not a big deal for them. I don't feel like they're very like traditional in the sense of like they're doing everything by the book, and I say that with quotation marks because there's no right or wrong way to live, unless you're a complete racist or anything with any isms that you have, then you're a trash person. But I think when it comes to like this, I'm thinking like a young couple who are probably like just into like living life and enjoying themselves and just enjoying their time as a couple. So they might get married, they might not, but they're pretty much just going with the flow. They enjoy being in each other's company. They built a house together. They could be like a young couple in terms of like they've known each other from ages. Like maybe they met in secondary school, which is high school for Americans. I don't know what it is for any other country, to be honest. And like probably maybe they went to different universities, had to do long distance for a while, that kind of thing. I don't know, but I just feel like it's definitely like a young couple who are going for like a minimalist kind of modern. I can definitely see them like light wood tones, some like pastel colors. Like I can see that for them, like loads of plants. I feel like it's definitely that kind of couple, that kind of vibe. And I've gone for like a modern feel with the windows and with the glass kind of roofing over the dining room area. And the back room could probably be like a spare room or an office space, and I've done like a small bathroom. But then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that's 3 bathrooms and 2 rooms. Like, that's a bit much. But I just feel like sometimes when you're playing with Sims, it's so annoying when you have multiple bedrooms and like 1 bathroom. It doesn't make any sense to me. And the more I build like shells from realistic homes, like I'm always trying to put in more than 1 bathroom, because it is so frustrating when you've got multiple Sims and like some of them go to school and they haven't showered because the bathroom's been occupied, or they're busting to go to the toilet and they go to school and they're just about making it without wetting themselves. Like it's just so frustrating when these things happen. So I just find that it's so much easier when it comes to gameplay to have more than 1 bathroom. So I tried to do that for you guys, okay? But obviously you can do whatever you want in space, because as a shell it's a lot easier to do what you want, because you can literally put whatever you want in the rooms. But I did try to move the stair around, but then I felt like I didn't know how to do it. This is why I need shell, like floor plans, because I feel like I never know placements of things or how to put things. So I just prefer to use floor plans, because then I don't have to think. I just can do the same thing that I'm seeing. But yeah, I just see a young couple. They like to entertain. They like to have people around, like a barbecue and drinks in the garden, and you know, they could be out there chilling. I just feel like it's a chilled vibe. And then the next house next to it, I definitely saw it as like a family home. And you can tell I've given them swings in the garden as well. And I've planted, I believe it was an apple tree and a pear tree, I believe. I could be wrong. But I just felt like this is like, I don't want to be stereotypical, but I just felt like the family in it was like definitely like a family home. Like the Father. The father goes out to work. I could have done like I don't think we have white vans, but I feel like he could be like a manual laborer and could be like a plumber, construction worker, that kind of vibe. And the mum's probably a stay-at-home mom. Very stereotypical kind of dynamic that I'm going with here, but that's what I could see when I was making this place, okay? And I felt like with the fruit in the back garden, maybe she makes these really amazing like preserves, or maybe she makes an amazing apple and pear crumble. I don't know. I just thought that she's that kind of neighbor, or that kind of person who like she's known for her baking, or she's known for like something like that. I just feel like she's that kind of person. Probably 2 children and a teen living in this home, and I just feel like it'd be a very like silly kind of household. Like the dad's a complete clown, like he just makes jokes, he's always silly, he's just messing about. The mom has a lot of friends, she enjoys herself, and she just loves being a mother, being at home, that kind of feel. That's kind of the feel I got. Like it's a happy home. That's the vibe I'm getting. Obviously they probably have their own problems going on and whatever, but generally I just saw like a happy family living in this house. Like they're just having fun, enjoying themselves. And because they don't have that kind of like glass roofing on the dining room area that I put on the right home, they would have more space upstairs, so that there's more room. So then there definitely could be like a room for the teen to have by themselves, and then maybe they've got 2 young children who live in their room together, they share a room, and then there's the main bedroom, and then probably like they've only got 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's how I kind of saw it, to be honest. That's the vibe I was getting, and that's how I kind of mapped out how I want the garden and everything to look. Because eventually, at first I was like, I think I'm just going to put a fence around the second home and leave it as that, but I was like, that's going to look so dry next to the next to the other garden that I've not done a lot to, but I've done enough to give it character and to give it a personality of like, you can get an idea of who lives there and what they're doing. They've got a barbecue, they've got 2 seating areas, so, and then they've got like this really like minimalist kind of cute planter, how would you describe it? Like an area of like a patched area out, like a fenced out area of like some plants and stuff like that. I feel like their garden is very much put together, it's very planned out, that kind of thing. And I felt like this next to just an empty fenced out garden just didn't make sense. So I gave them a little deck here, and I put tables and chairs. I put tables and chairs on there. I think I did anyway. And then gave them the 2 planters with the apple and pear trees in it. And then I also gave them a swing set, because I was like, yeah, I can imagine the children being in the back having fun in the garden, probably kicking the ball around, all that kind of craziness. I say craziness, but just children being children, really. But yeah, I like to think about who's living where and what's happening when I'm building. It just gives it a little something. It makes it a lot easier as well when it comes to building, because you're not just going off of nothing, you're going off of some inspiration and something. I definitely feel like I needed to add more details, I just didn't know how, which is why I like to use like a lot of reference images, because excuse me, the burp didn't catch it on camera on the mic, but yeah, I just feel like trying to work without a reference is really difficult for me when it comes to building. Like, it's kind of helped, I don't know, I don't think it's really helped me fully like build without references, because I haven't really done it. Because Lord, if you see my builds, I might do a video where I renovate a build I've done when I first started building, and that could be really fun to do, because I would probably change things up a lot. Decided to give a little platform, because I'm like, realistically a lot of houses aren't like dead flat. There's like at least a little step, maybe, you know. So I moved that. Obviously that changed everything, so I had to go back and do everything again. And there's some things that I've not really used properly before, and I've never used this gate outdoors. I've always used it indoors, or it's normally been indoors. So the fact that I use it outdoors, I was like, oh, I like it. But I'm planning on doing a build where I use the items and things that I never use when it comes to like building. So I'm gonna just build a plain shell, and then I'm gonna film myself using like wallpapers and like decorations, flooring, things like that I never use, just because it'll be a challenge for me, because I'm pretty much a creature of habit. Like, I use the same things, especially if it's like the style I want, and there's just some things that just get no time of day. I don't speak to them, don't use them, don't like them. And I'll definitely do this on the console as well, so I have a bit more choice as well. And as you can see, I am building this on the console, and I think I probably went for the console because there wasn't a load of landscaping. I could get away with not a lot of landscaping, which is good, because I really can't landscape on the console, because I miss the alt key so much. So yeah, this is why I just need a keyboard and a mouse for the console, so that I could have that same freedom and I don't have to worry about alt placement, because that's why I do a lot of my builds on my PlayStation, on the laptop, because I can use the alt key, and sizing up and sizing down is a lot easier. But I mean, I can make it work with the console. It's not hard. It's just difficult when there's not just one key for one thing. It's like you're using the same keys but in different ways to get a different action. It's just like, huh, what am I doing again? Especially when you get used to a laptop and then you go back to the PlayStation and like, wait, what am I doing? It just feels weird. So yeah, I'm gonna do a challenge where I use the items and stuff that I never use for a build. I was also thinking about switching up my schedule, maybe doing 2 videos a week, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself. It's only because I'm like, at the moment, like there's like 2 videos scheduled and 2 videos I've gone live already. So I think I'm just getting ahead of myself because I have like videos sitting there, and then I'm doing this voiceover, and I think I've got another build as well that I'm going to do a voiceover, or 2 builds that I'm doing voiceovers for. So I don't want to get cocky. I don't want to get excited and be like, I can do twice a week when realistically I probably can't, especially because I'm really trying to work on getting out there and improving my public speaking so that I could get out there and do more public speaking opportunities and have more of those opportunities. So more opportunities, more of those. Don't I even know what I'm saying? No, I feel like talking for 20 minutes is so difficult when like I'm just talking from the top of my head, talking about this build. I don't know, I thought speed builds would be so much easier because sometimes I can talk for England and then other times I'm like, I don't know what to say. But this has been sitting in my drafts for a while, and I was like, Sabrina, all it needs is a voiceover so we get it done, and that's what we're doing. But yeah, let me know, like, how do you build? Do you build with a family in mind? Do you build just like based on photos that you see? Do you just do a build from the top of your head? Like, what's your building process? And do you prefer to like furnish or build the exteriors? Because I much prefer to do shells, like so much, because when I do finish inside, I do like to take my time. So there's times where I've spent hours and hours on it, and other times where I've come back to it. So I've done 1 room a day or something like that, because sometimes it feels like it needs a bit more time. Whereas I feel like doing like a shell and exterior, you can really focus on some like details and things like that. I don't know, it just feels a lot more calmer and easier to do. Maybe that's why I prefer it. And I prefer small builds as well. Like, this for me is a perfect size kind of build. I don't do huge builds, but there's one photo I did see and I really want to attempt it. But the saddest thing is I haven't seen a floor plan, and I feel like I have to have a floor plan because it's like definitely a build for excuse me, Oasis Springs, and oh my gosh, it would bang with the Courtyard Oasis kit, because it's that vibe. So I'm going to try and recreate that in Oasis Springs, but I don't have a floor plan, and it actually has a courtyard, which is quite exciting because I think I've only built one place with like a courtyard and it wasn't great. So I'm going to use this as a reference to build this home that has a courtyard. I just think it looks so cute and so pretty, so I'm going to recreate that in The Sims. But the fact that there's no floor plan does freak me out, because I feel like I need to have a floor plan. And I only just clocked those base game windows don't come in a black swatch. They come in grey but not black. I was just like, wait, what? Why have I never noticed that before? I thought all the windows come in at least a black swatch, but a lot of them don't anyway. Some of them are only like wood tones, some of them are only black and white, but yeah, some of them are random colours, and I'm just like, okay, that's one of the things I'm probably gonna have to challenge myself to use, some coloured windows and doors, because I always go with like the basic colours, to be honest. I never go with like fun colours, but I think that's because I do a lot of reference based builds. So if the reference image doesn't have like a coloured door or something, I don't really use a coloured door. So that's just how I go about it, but each to their own, innit? So yeah, I'm putting in those cheats so I can get some cars. I hate using the debug and live edit cheat on console, because you just have to scroll for ages and pull up things, and you can't copy and paste, you can't use the eyedrop tools, you can't go back and find it. It's just so annoying. Like, I wish we had a build and better buy mod, like, kind of just function for the console. Like, I feel like that should be a thing, with like debug should be labeled better so that we could search it up easier and things like that. I just wish we had like a proper debug menu so we could access this better, because please, because I love using debug. Like, I know originally, because I'm pretty sure someone mentioned it before, like originally we didn't have access to it, or it wasn't for us to really use, but a lot of people use debug and I love it. So yeah, I could definitely see like a white van being outside the more family home, like just for work purposes. Like that's the dad's kind of like work car, and then the mum probably has a car that she does a school run with. And like if she does baked goods, she's probably like selling them at stalls and like fairs and stuff. Like I feel like she's a very hands-on person, wants to be involved in like community products and things. I just feel like that's the kind of vibe we're getting from this family. Like just a wholesome family, innit? That's all the vibes I'm getting. And like obviously not to say that the neighbors aren't wholesome, but I just feel like they're like a young, cool, kind of modern couple. I wouldn't say that, well, they would have to be millennials because I don't know many Gen Zs that are really buying their own properties, but yeah, they would definitely be like millennial kind of couple. But yeah, just enjoying the young life, like their life together. Like I said, they probably spent some like time apart whilst I was in uni, like a long distance relationship, and they knew after that, once they graduated, once they settled in their careers, that they were going to move in together, that kind of thing. That's the vibe I kind of get. And now I'm feeling to play this through in my own gameplay. Like I really want to play in this home. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, I want to make these families. And maybe I should make the families and put them in the gallery for you guys. I don't know, but I don't do a lot of Creative Sim kind of like videos because it's not really like, as much as I enjoy Creative Sim, especially when I'm using CC, like on my laptop I really enjoy it, but generally it's not really my thing. I much prefer building. And like the only time I really enjoy creating a sim is if I've built something and I'm like, I can see who's living there and I want to do that. But we're coming to the end. The only thing you didn't see me do on camera is add trim, because I felt like the house was a bit bland. So I did add a trim around one of the homes, or both of the homes I believe. But yeah, it's on the gallery. Sadly, the simmer is my gallery ID. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I wasn't talking a little rubbish. But if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more weekly uploads. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!